channel, he was already, but he made it realistic. I want you to think the advantages that this game is. 26, that is an immediately a concept, not just to make a video about, to build an entire online identity of. And you can see the advantages from this manifest in multiple ways.
今日も冒険がみんな頑張れよ。
Towards legitimacy, years of censorship, wanting to keep things like this succinctly different. Meaning that even before Graham ever uploaded his first video, life had already taught him to recognize despite this. Is Graham seems to be active to take its advantage on YouTube or website just for you.
採取します。
That's all I can say.
レアです。よし。これは
It doesn't matter, but by ignoring the narrative messages, all has sense of success as a teachable, readable, action. Not right. Can you explain the testimony of successful YouTubers? No. As a YouTuber, I am a YouTubers. Take someone like extremely Foxcade. I first met Foxcade like subscribers and years. Occasionally has asked me for advice. Seeing that advice on to surpass 100,000 subscribers in multiple videos. I wanted to easy like this. Truth is, Foxcade is an awful person, just so happens to make videos, and my advice to him is not responsible for that. In fact, I like to think I've done everything I can to try and stop them all. He can never confirm that because we do not live in reality. Foxcade do not respect their advice, and so can never actually measure how effective that advice was as they begin to on the small years, and there's inevitability in some of the darkness of your actions. Now imagine you are a person that is advertised to hundreds of thousands of people, and that group is already long dedicated enough to YouTube to spend hundreds of dollars on your course. Statistically, a small number of them are convicted, and how much part of that Graham's course actually is, we never know because we don't experience the reality. As YouTubers don't take this course. But here's the thing, it's not that certain folks. I want to say here, like genuine muscle section. Don't go to invasive this video is wrong to do it. I want to go back to those ultra positive reviews of Graham's course we talked about. These are all people who had finished Graham's course, were massively enthusiastic about its value, all dead set on becoming full-time YouTubers, and were now treating that prospect as an inevitability, just like Graham's course claimed to teach them. But here's the thing, whatever value they think they got from it, it is unfortunately not reflected in their subscribers or views. Out of all 60 ultra positive reviews, only a single channel had over 100k subscribers and was fully used and indicated triple-figure income, but the overwhelming majority had nothing close to that. Either was scraping just a couple of hundred views a video. That's with having taken Graham's course well over a year ago. So enthusiastic now, having stopped posting altogether. These people believed in Graham's course. They were all enthusiastic about it, took his message, but it hasn't worked. Ultimately, it's that leads me back to the same question I've been asking this entire time. If these courses work, then why don't they?
やってみます。
At this point, I have two things I want to say to anyone in these courses. One, be less shitty. Be transparent about what your course actually is and what you're teaching. Be honest about the likelihood of success while getting started with your followers. As I was making this video, YouTuber Marcus Brownlee is one of these courses, but at least in that, if you press material for it, he's completely open about how unlikely it is for anyone to achieve viral fame. That is not a high bar to reach, and yet so do. If I talked about you in this video, been slighted or misrepresented, you have an option here. If I'm wrong, there's a very easy way that you could just humiliate me. These are metrics. Show publicly not just the top 1 or 2 channels, but the total percentage of people who have paid money to take your course and now have over 100,000 subscribers and do this full time. And if that number is over 50%, I'll delete this entire video. But if it's under, don't you think that's something you should tell people before paying to take your course? Okay, I think if we wanted, it's done. I think I've made my case. These courses are bad, don't give them money. However, the research I did for this video, from people I spoke to, I started to realize, for as little as I think these courses, what they are is a symptom of a much larger problem. In a lot of people I spoke to, especially smaller creators, there was what I can only describe as a kind of panicked desperation, a need for validation from the platforms they were posting to. And what I began to find disturbing is how these platforms cultivate that desperation. I'm going to be talking mainly about YouTubers, but what I say will apply to all major social media platforms. Only the specifics will change. I want to start with a question. Why does YouTube show view counts on videos? Why is that such an important consideration that's displayed even in thumbnail videos? And you could say it's social. Say that high view counts signal to the viewer that, hey, there's something interesting here. But realistically, how long do you have to be on YouTube before you realize that's not true? So, who is this number? Who is the person who really cares about? The person who checks it every day, buys something and not any. At first, knowing anyone is watching your videos is exciting. Slowly, it becomes so it becomes this projection of your finances, whether this will still be a viable job in 8 years' time, but that's just the surface. It becomes a measure an undeniable metric for how valued you are as a human, how interesting you are, how much people like you, and after long enough, if people still care about you. I am really not proud of saying any of this, but I have gone into major surgery, less dread, and posting a video and checking in this morning. That's because it becomes so difficult, nearly impossible, not to see your value as a person in these numbers. And I promise you, everyone posting to YouTube feels that fear to some degree. Everyone is scared of waking up one morning and seeing everything they've worked for disappear in this devastating, wide-scale rejection of you as a person. And what really began to bother me talking to those creators for this video is how YouTube conditions people into feeling fear. See, when you start uploading YouTube, you're presented with the Creator Studio. And the first thing YouTube shows you right up the top left of the screen is your video ranking, which shows the performance of your most recent video ranked against your top 10 most recent videos. My most recent video has nearly 600,000 views. That is this many people 20 times. That is such an unfathomably large amount of people to even conceptualize. And yeah, when I see it ranked 5 of 10, there's something inside me that shakes a little. There's some panic it sets off of me that I have done something wrong and to correct it. This video barely succeeded. It's not just me. It's literally every creator I spoke to reacted like, so don't go into your creator studio. At the top left is that thing that ranks your videos in order from to 10 most recent videos. Be the devil. But it can also be breaking, I guess. Just like obsessed over that. Not gonna get anything done. Yeah, I've done that before where I just like, you know, a video does poorly, and I just like, it's an entire day, so I'm just like, oh.
On your own, let's take a look at that image. Yeah, screw that stupid notification. What constructive thing that I possibly did with that information?
Yeah.
I guess since I put all this work into these videos, and like, I'll make something and I'll be like, this is really good. Like, I think this is really good. And going into that like YouTube Creative Studio, it's like 10 of 10, like at the bottom of the list. Like
the top 10. The top 10 videos. I'm like, oh. This many times I'm like, oh my god, I'd like to release one of the most favorite videos. I'm from the dashboard and I'm like, oh.
You have no reason to look at it. It's not doing anything for you, but they're always reminding you. Always looking at it. It makes you feel so bad. Like, it is like consistently like, oh, it looks like this video isn't doing as well as the last video.
Kristen, how do you feel about when you open the creator page and you see that top 10 list look right at the devastated, and it's genuinely such a awful. It feels just like I'm trying to avoid it. I technically now like I'm the only person who didn't have overwhelmingly negative things to say about video rankings was Jenny Nicholson. That's only because she's smart enough not to look at it. And so if all the ranking does is breed inadequacy and anxiety in creators, then why is it there? What are the conversations that led to it being implemented? Why does it choose? It's the first thing you see ever studio. Personally, I think there is an answer to right mode to ranking is the go-to one, which will take you to those motherfucking analytics that we spoke about earlier. Well, we've already covered how I don't think analytics are going to make you a better YouTuber and will hurt you creatively. What we haven't talked about is how addictive this stuff is. Analytics page drowns you in data. Every conceivable metric, who's watching, where from, for how long, on what device, country, gender, click-through rate, every view, every like, every comment, tabulated and broken down in a dozen different ways, and even pushed to your phone through notifications in YouTube's Creator Studio app. And honestly, when things are going well, it is exhilarating. But what I don't think a lot of people talk about is how that positive feedback you're presented with is just as harmful as the negative, because it keeps you coming back for that report, seeking but that once that exposes you to the negative, either because the numbers aren't high enough, or through insulting or hateful comments, or YouTube itself telling you that your channel is failing, that your videos are underperforming. And how quickly the behavior conditioned from this gets out of control is genuinely frightening. In the late 19th century, scientist B.F. Skinner invented a piece of lab equipment that would come to be known as the Skinner box.
I love hearing about Skinner box.
An animal was placed with either a button or a lever, and over time, the animal would learn that if they pressed the button, they would be rewarded with a food pellet, which the animal would do whenever hungry. Simple, predictable behavior. However, Skinner noticed something. If an element of randomness was introduced, say only giving a pellet one time in 100, the animal, over time, go berserk, acting completely illogically, hammering the button over and over and over, sometimes thousands of times a day, even dozens of times a second, irrespective of how long it had actually been since they'd eaten. This is the basis for all modern gambling and addiction psychology, and intentionally or not, something that YouTube has perfectly duplicated in its creators. And I get that sounds hyperbolic. I would have thought so too, before they did these interviews.
I feel like I can't look away. I can't delete those analytics and just say, I'm done. I'm just going to make the content and have what happens happen. Yeah, I tried to. I wouldn't cut obviously, now knowing you from a bigger channel, it does nothing, but, constantly pushing it, I feel like, instead of scared the moment I look away, I might suck. But at the side of my channel, I don't know, there's really no good reason for it, there really isn't.
I have downtime, I need to be looking at the creator studio. Like, I need to be like, yeah, it definitely, I don't know what's firing off my brain for that, but I kind of, look my life. Honestly, when you asked, what's the hardest part, I almost was, sobbing looking at the analytics every time a video uploads.
So if I had to guess, upwards of 20, 30 times a day, some type of check, my wife fucking hits, and she says, you're off work, and I'll be like, picking up the kids, and in the seconds between them coming out of school, I'm checking my analytics.
It was probably at least 10 times a day. I'd be popping it open. Sometimes I'd sit there for a couple days with a video doing I'd just refresh it to see the numbers go up, and I'd panic if the video wasn't trending the way that I wanted it to trend. And it just, the part of the job where I was actually trying to express myself sort of faded into the background, and it was more about it was just the numbers hit the numbers. Yeah.
Maybe the craziest, most hooked-up part, however, is when I asked creators that all that checking, the compulsive hours, days, and months you used looking at this stuff, what had they actually gotten in? What did they actually do all that time staring at analytics and stuff? What do you think you've learned from that?
Probably not a ton. It's probably mostly been society, but more than anything, it's been stress.
Just stress, and I don't know, it's just at this point, I
really don't know. I want to say, I don't think I've gained anything from it.
If you were to tell me to, start a new YouTube channel and make it a hit from scratch, I know that I would apply anything that to that end has taught me.
I want to say, if you're a young creator starting out on YouTube, you don't need to look at this stuff. I have looked at this stuff maybe twice ever, thought it was fucking stupid one time. So this entire funnel YouTube has established that starts when people need the dopamine push for those first couple of dozen views and leads to the obsessive cycles that we talked about. This is clearly not for the benefit of creators. Who it benefits is YouTube. It is a system facilitated to keep people scared of content that leaves them up float. Those creators constantly seeking out that validation, that dopamine. And so when I see the dangerous life-risking things people do, views for the morally reprehensible garbage people convince themselves is okay when I see a mother who won't comfort her child whose dog has just died because she's too busy making him pose for a vlog thumbnail. These people are clearly in the wrong, but the problem is bigger than them. They have been indoctrinated into a system that has conditioned them to believe that these numbers are more important than anything. People I really worry about in that are smaller groups, are younger groups. They are the people who are constantly being told by this system they are not good enough, that they do not matter.
And yeah, like I burnt out so bad that I just couldn't give anymore because I was in a stage where I was scared shitless for my future. I did all of this work to speak to the void again. I'm speaking to a empty room. Nobody's listening to me.
The stress comes from a lot of things. First off, just like I like mental weight of just like most of a while. It's always just like it's always just like whenever I'm like at work or school, I'm just like I want to.
You give up a lot to do this. Like, I've lost contact with like a lot of friends just because I don't have time to talk to that many friends anymore.
I went a really unhealthy sort of like destructive phase when I was first meeting.
There is this just crushing sense of like, if I don't perform constantly and consistently, I'm never going to be like him or her or whoever.
One of the creators that really stood out to me in this regard was the channel I'm LJL, Logan. Logan's situation is unusual because on the surface, he's actually doing well. He has a decent following of 36,000 subscribers. However, this is an audience he gained by doing K-pop reaction videos, and over time, mind of churning out a video with each new release left Logan burnt out and exhausted.
I've just got addicted to making content and like, yeah, I was like, oh, this first reaction and my when I first did it, so I was like, oh, can I sit there and enjoy my reaction? So I was like, oh, okay, I'll throw a few more, and it just came to a point. It's just constant, just having to be reacting to new releases as fast as possible, and it burnt me out. And then I was like, this isn't fun. But the analytics, they're telling me this is what I should do. Because it's getting me.
He wanted to focus more on bespoke high-end, and he got really good at making them. Logan's videos are meticulously edited, comes across as charming and personable. His jokes land, and I don't know anything about K-pop, but his passion is infectious. However, despite the quality of his videos, after Logan stopped doing the reaction videos, his view count fell dramatically. And now, after 8 years of being on YouTube, some of his videos struggle to break even 100 views. But still, Logan, despite the protests of his family, really wants this to be his full-time job. So, he's given himself 1 more year to make YouTube. And as I spoke to him, I could help feel that the weight of that was crushing. How does it make you feel?
Yeah, I'll definitely be crying for quite some time, because I thought about quitting so many times. And I think if I managed to do before we let it go, that's fine. 24, like a quarter of dry math. A third of my life, just I'm throwing it away, kind of. There was something that I confidence about. Maybe I'll just continue to just make a video now. just post it and just go back to doing stuff. But yeah, even now, I'm tearing up. Thinking about it. So I don't want to do that. But it's going to. It's maybe it's definitely. Yeah.
It's just one of these stories. Tweet I put out asking for smaller creators got over 8,000 replies, and that's just this one tweet. There has to be tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people in this exact position, and that is what pisses me off about these courses. I think they're bad, but they're not aimed at. They're aimed at people like Logan. People who have been conditioned to eke out their self-worth from this impossible system that doesn't make sense. And so when they inevitably search out how to become successful online, which is, again, an infinitely complex, random, and impossible question, the feeds become flooded with these courses offering a magical path to a life that doesn't exist. Okay, for this final section, I want to pose one last question. And it's not to the people running these courses or to YouTube itself. It's to anyone watching this who aspires to become a social media influencer or content creator or whatever you like. My question is, what? Why do you want to do this? And what do you think this is? It's that question. I want to say two things. One, if this next bit comes across as me looking for sympathy or complaining that my life is hard, that is not the intention at all. I have a fucking kick-ass life, I have a great job, I have a beautiful partner, I have awesome friends. I'm doing okay. But there's things about this job that I hate most. Two, I have worked sweltering long summers in Dublin retail. I've delivered leaflets, I've worked as a pager decorator. I spent 6 years in the animation industry before I ever did this. I have hired people, I have fired people, I have led teams, I have been fired. And that's why I want you to trust me when I say this is the best job I've ever had. Personally, for me, it is also the one I find the most difficult. Is it financially lucrative? For me, absolutely. Nothing better than doing this entire life. But you have to keep in mind, I am one of the galactically lucky few actually works out for. Is statistically getting into this line of work a financially terrible idea? Absolutely. And so, what does that leave? Well, that leaves the internet. That leaves 1 million subscriber outside. So for the final section of this video, what I want to do is talk about what that rise is like. What it's actually like starting out from zero and making it all the way to 1 million subscribers. This thing that so many people dream. If you want to know what lies beyond 1 million subscriber mountain, well, I'm about to show you. When you start making YouTube videos, it's likely because you really love YouTube. There's big creators on there that have shaped the way you see the world, and they thought hits you that, hey, maybe I could do this as well. And those early days are so fun. Each view, each comment, it is an immense. Even the negativity is fun. I remember the first time someone called me an autistic sperm blossom, and what a weird and creative insult that was. Then it happens. You wake up one morning and a video you made has gone viral. It's very pouring in and it's exciting. And you notice something. People you've never met start talking about them, start having opinions on them. And most of them are positive. How does this guy have so few subs? Oh man, I know this guy is gonna blow. And honestly, it's thrilling. Everyone's rooting for you. Everyone wants to see you, this underdog, this little guy, succeed, it becomes more affection than you have ever received in your entire life. And it's great. But then, there's Andrew. If you take any stance on any subject and voice that thought on the internet, you are going to piss off at least one person out of 100, and that person is Andrew. And Andrew loves leaving comments. He calls you a slur. He makes fun of how low your view counts are, how you speak, or your intelligence. And Andrew is a pig. But he's one person out of 100. Whatever. Hell, even if a video gets 1,000 views, that's still only 10 Andrews. You can block or mute 10 people. It's not a big deal. And besides, you've got bigger things to worry about. Your sub count is growing more and more every day. In fact, those big YouTubers you look up to, you're still just this. But some of your bigger videos, they're starting to compete with videos of those bigger YouTubers, and it feels amazing. In fact, it's intoxicating. See, you've always had these insecurities, these doubts about yourself, who you are, and what you can do, but now there's hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people who support you, who believe in you, and you need to keep them happy, because this feeling cannot go away. You start thinking less about what you want to make and more about what your audience expects, because something else is starting to happen. That personal validation has also become financial, to the point that you can even quit your job and finally be your own boss. But that's not quite true, is it? You still have a boss, and it's not you, it's not your audience, hell, it's not even human. It has no mouth, it cannot speak, it has no ears, it does not hear. It's YouTube. This giant, faceless entity. This is what decides everything about your life. But it's fine, it's fine, because every month it wordlessly slides you over a large chunk of money, and you look at YouTube, your eyes filled with gratitude, and it's like, oh shit, this is nearly as much as I made from my old job. Can I really have this? But YouTube doesn't say. Well, that's weird, but it's fine. You're just gonna keep making videos, and those little toxic people stay here. Hey, those big YouTubers, the ones that look like frauds when you started this, the gap between you and them, it's shrinking and fast until one day your subscriber count surpasses theirs, and you can't believe it. You've actually done it. You're just a normal person, and you have reached this status, and it's so great. And you turn to your adoring audience and exclaim, "We did it, guys! We proved that even a normal person can surpass a big YouTuber." We don't hear applause. Hear silence. That's when someone from your audience steps forward and says, "Dude, what are you talking about? You are a big YouTuber." And it's in that moment something shifts. There is now a gap between you and your community. You no longer are a thing. You no longer the underdog. You are no longer anti-establishment. You now are the establishment. And in the same way you used to look at those big YouTubers above you, there are now many small YouTubers who remember, Andrew, that one irrational person in 100, well, congratulations. Your most recent video has 100,000 views, which has created 1,000 Andrews. And for as easy as it was to shut out 10 people, 1,000 is impossible. But it's not just that. See, those 1,000 Andrews, they're all making friends with each other. They have made their disdain of you part of their identity and united through it. They have discords where they talk about you. They dissect each tiny little flaw, from the words you've mispronounced to how you've been recently. And together, the most passionate among them begin to invent creative ways to let you know that the public callings private messages messages people you've never met or seen they know where you live. And sure, the positivity is still there, but after long enough, it's hard not to go numb to it, and you hate that because you can tell these people love your videos, but the hate, that feels fresh, that feels frightening, real, and you cannot look away. Some people are even making videos about you, and it gets to the point that no matter what you say, one side of a debate will always become furious with you. But you want to know the hardest part? Some of those people are right. You have made mistakes. You have fucked up. Some of those people are right to call you on it, while others just hate you with more passion than you have ever hated anything. And you will pull yourself apart trying to figure out which is which. Then one day, it makes you check, and it's way lower every check you ever see. Wait, what did I do wrong? Why is this so low? How do I stop this from happening? Because YouTube does not have a voice, cannot hear you. It only says nothing. You have to do something different. You have to change something about yourself, because that personal and financial validation that has made you who you are, it is all that's keeping the hate from consuming you, and it's disappearing. You lose sleep. You begin to see people talk about in the past tense, about the days when the channel used to be good, and it kills you. You start shutting down. You start off some people contact you. You turn off DMs on Twitter. You try to look at YouTube comments. You get tired of people analyzing you, diagnosing mental illness, acting like they know you. And one of the hardest parts is it's not just online that people are treating you different. It's in real life too. You used to have the same problems as your friends. You used to be trying to explain how constant growth is doing to you. People will smile and say, I bet it's still cool though. They'll be at parties trying to relax and will walk up to you and tell you they didn't like your most recent video, that they feel downhill. You'll spend the rest of the night trying and failing not to obsess. But you can't, because this is everything. This is what you are now. If you lose it, then what are you? What are you after all this has happened? And there's only one answer left. Is 1 million subscribers. That surely will show your worth. That surely will show that you mattered. So, I want to talk about that final year for you. It was 2020, the year the pandemic hit, at the start of which I dropped one of my biggest videos ever, Bizarre World of Big Martial Arts, which YouTube has fucking age-gated despite the fact that UFC can post literally what they want. So that video lets me get massive search. Despite the fact I was still 300,000 subscribers away from 1 million, it looks like I might actually hit 1 million in December. And I'm trying not to care about that shit. I really do, but a million subscribers is seen as this ultimate validation that you were there, that you succeeded, that you did something that so few do. All the hours, all the energy you poured into these videos, that it mattered. Like, you... as the year went on, other people started noticing it and saying it to me. People in my Discord, my friends, my family, my parents, they were like, oh, you're gonna hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. And it's here where I start telling myself, big folly. I tell myself that once I get to 1 million, that's it. I'm free. I'm not going to worry about subscribers, I'm not going to worry about view counts, all the weird shit I obsess about with YouTube. I can just let I'm free. Just make whatever I want, because at that point, I will have... So, work harder than I've ever worked in my entire life. I'm getting tens of thousands of new subscribers every month, and it started to seem like this was real. This was happening. Then, towards the end of the year, something else starts happening. My videos are still getting a lot of views, but I wasn't getting many subscribers. Oh, slow to a crawl. It's hard not to panic when that kind of shit happens, you know, but it happens to everyone. I hit December, and I'm still 50,000 subscribers away from 1 million. And that's more subscribers than I've ever gotten in a single month by a wide margin. And so, I get signed to the fact that it's just not happening. Oh, I feel bad. The weird part is, I feel guilty to all those people who told me. You know, and that doesn't even make sense, because I know no one actually cares about this stuff. But, you know, it's whatever. It's fine. But then, on December 20th, I dropped my final video here. It's called What the Internet Did to Us. And it blows up massive. Nothing I've ever seen before. I get 10,000 new subscribers, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, and it is exhilarating. I cannot believe it. And I head home to my parents for Christmas, and we're all aware that this is happening, and it's
Okay.
Then, on December 26th, the day after Christmas, I'm sitting there in my parents' spare room, sitting with the camera because I have the emotional problems. I get a text from my friends, and it just says, what did you do? I check. There it is, right beside my name. It is. It's surreal. And I sit back, and I wait for that sense of euphoria to kick in. I wait for that sense of freedom. I wait. And I wait.
おお、何を売るのじゃ?
But I don't feel anything. I remember in around
何を売るのじゃ? なんじゃ?
this really weird thought comes to me.
どうするのじゃ?
This bed, this chair, these walls, they're
取引成立じ
they're
ゃ
all
ん.
exactly the same as they were a couple of seconds ago. Nothing's different. I am the same. And it's confusing. And the confusion comes two words that they scared the shit. What? And
家事をするんじゃ
I
な。
don't know what's new.
さてさて、
I don't
何の
know
ご用か何を売るのじゃ?
what comes next. There is no answer. There's nothing. I get depressed. And I stayed that way for a really long time.
なんじゃ
For those
毎
feelings
度あり
eventually manifest into the video Space Jam 2 is a lie. I really wish I was joking about that. I'm not. If you want to know what's over the 1 million subscriber mountain, there isn't anything. There is just a journey that brought you there. And I wish I'd spent less of that journey caring what people I never met or obsessing over numbers. Letting those numbers dictate my value as a person. That's what this job does to you. That's what it's like being a content creator.
どうしたのかね
And I still think you should do it. You see, there's this anime called Blue Period. Blue Period is a show I love. It's a show about just the joy of making things. It is about the euphoria that comes with expressing yourself.
She does talk about it in the end.
It makes you happy. And I love this show because it reminded me of how important that is. The highest I get is the feeling of writing something that feels like an honest expression of
装備ですか
self. The feeling of then putting that writing to dialogue and cutting that dialogue into a piece of footage in a way that changes and adds its meaning. I even love watching the resulting video back, realizing it's kind of bad, and then doing it 6 more times until it starts to work. That is what I loved about this job. I have 10 subscribers, and I got over 1 million. That's what I still do. I think I want people to take away from this video is that you don't need a million subscribers to feel that good. Reality is, finding success on social media, building a following, is difficult, creeping towards impossible, and it's only getting better. But that doesn't have to matter. Your art doesn't have value because of what other people think of it. It matters because of how it makes you feel. And don't let social media or these stupid fucking
どう
courses
しますか
make you believe
いってらっ
otherwise.
しゃい
The content want to make have a great
そろそろ
time
来ると
doing
思
it.
ってたぞ
Not only do I genuinely believe that's the only real way to make other people care about it,
なんだっけ
even if it doesn't work out, you still spend time making something you love, and that never being waste. That is genuinely the best advice I can. And I am not
ど
I
こ
guess
に
if
しまっ
you
た
were
か
to give
な
advice to people starting out in June,
It's a bad idea, don't do it. But if hearing that, being told it's a bad idea, don't do it, makes you respond with like, oh no, I want to do it. Like I really want to, it's like I want to do YouTube. I want to make YouTube videos.
Why the hell are you here?
I have something to say. I have an idea for content that I want to put out. I have an idea for art that I
みんな
want
頑張れよ
to,
何を売るのさ
ignore
Nani
the
を売るのさ
advice and
毎度あり
to be just
そろ
doing
そろ来る
something
と思
that
ってたぞ
you actually care about, and I don't think you could go into it now thinking, I'm going to be big.
The first thing that came to my mind is don't do it. It's not important to be a YouTuber. You don't have to be one. And let's do
わ
it.
かりますかこうです
You know,
か
maybe it's really not trying to do it. I think anybody wants to be a YouTuber should try it. But don't feel like it's like some, it's not a mystical occupation. It's just a thing you can do.
But once you start chasing the algorithm, chasing trending topics, and keeping schedule to please a fan base because you think the algorithm wants you to do regular uploads, which it doesn't. But if you start doing that ticking clock or work or how long before content suffers or content dies.
Don't focus on numbers because it'll keep you alive.
I would say make videos that you enjoy making on topics that you enjoy talking about, and share them with friends or share them with people in like-minded fandoms. And you know, the longer you do it, the better you get, and you have to accept that you gotta enjoy it without seeing your views grow right away.
わかりました。
If you're
やっ
not
てみます。
enjoying it, then what's the point of your career?
Just basically accept now that I make something that you're happy about. That's all it has to be. I don't think there is any other way to do it. If you try to do it on purpose, you're never actually happy, even if you are successful. I understand
わ
that
かりました。
technology is gone. It's just that our creations only have value if someone else is watching. And it's not true. There is nothing wrong with you whether people don't pay attention to your art. That art is for you. That is enough. I promise. Friends, thank you for joining.
Isn't that exactly what Yuri says in the beginning of Doki Doki Literature Club?
Storyboards for this video.
The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go stab myself.
If you like this video and want to create more like it, you can do so over at patreon.com/supermycountry, where for only a single $1 you can help me make more videos like this. This week in particular, I'd like to thank Angelica Light, Diego Ponce, Chant, Snack Jackal, Marissa Davidson, Brian Parker, and Arsehole Tep the Insufferable. Thank you, Arsehole Tep. Find me as ever hosting the Let's Fight a Boss video game podcast, on the anime podcast Jeff's Bizarre Adventure, on twitch.tv/SuperIPadTool, as well as on Twitter @iPadTool. Friends, take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time.
はい。夕方まででいいの？なになに？